It's Monday, August 3rd, 2026, and this is episode 365 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. I'm Mark Duvall.
And I'm Dr. Mike.
Dr. Mike, do you have anything to report? You know, the last few episodes, we've had so much to talk about, but do you have anything gambling to report?
No, I do not.
Yeah.
Since we got back from New Orleans, I haven't done any.
Yeah. I really haven't either. Well, I played poker. I always play poker.
Yeah.
But nothing to report there. Yeah. Well, Mike, longtime listeners know that when we discuss things on the show, every once in a while we say, oh, we should put that in our casino. Or, oh, I've got an idea for our casino. We've talked about the eventual Mark and Dr. Mike casino and everything that we would like to have in it.
Right.
And listeners have talked about, oh, gosh, I'd love to have a list of all the things that you've talked about over the years, you know, so that we know exactly what's going to be in the casino. And a few weeks back, listener Alex actually said, hey, you know, now might be the good time to do it because AI is so prevalent now and many podcast apps provide transcripts for the shows that you listen to. So
Right.
AI could just go through there and pick and choose and get everything out of there. We thought, oh, yeah, that would be kind of nice, but I'm not going to put the effort into it now at
Right.
least. You know, it'd be
Yeah.
one of those things that'd be nice to have.
We'll wait till we make our own AI company and
Or-
we hack a lot of companies.
Or AI gets to the point where all you have to do is say, yeah, make a list of everything that's going into our casino. We don't have to provide any other information like the
Right.
podcast or anything. Just
It just
lazy.
knows.
Yeah. Well, listener Mike actually took it upon himself to try and do this. He had the AI tool Claude read through all our episode transcripts to come up with a story about a visitor to our casino. So, without further ado, Mike.
A Day at the Mark and Dr. Mike Casino, a story for the recreational gambler. So picture this. There's a guy named Gary from Cleveland. Longtime listener, first-time visitor. And right now, Gary is on an airplane because like everybody else on board, he paid $100 up front for the junket. Play 4 hours at the table minimum, get your airfare back. Simple. The old deal. The good deal. The plane touches down at Prim International Airport, which is a real thing now, because when we said we were building an airport, we meant a big one. Gary D. Planes, between a junket group from Hong Kong and a junket group from Prague, walks through the terminal, and there it is across the desert like a mirage. New Little Vegas. And at the center of it, the Mark and Dr. Mike Casino. The marquee out front is the size of a drive-in movie screen. It's flashing 3-2 blackjack on every table. Then 10 times odds on craps. Then steak and eggs 99 cents. Then now playing overnight keno. Then briefly a list of house fines, of which there is exactly one, and we'll get to that. Gary walks up to the entrance. And look, we're not going to apologize for the entrance. It's a get smart entrance. Door after door after door, each one opening with a satisfying mechanical thunk, until the last one drops him directly onto the casino floor. Next to that final door is a small, permanently mounted sign that says, "Pardon our dust." There is no dust. There's never been any dust. The sign stays. First stop, the Players Club, which is open until 2 a.m. because we're not animals. Gary signs up and the nice lady hands him 3 things. First, his card, which his wife and kids are encouraged to share freely. Second, a coupon for a full-size Hershey's bar with almonds, complimentary at the gift shop just for signing up. Gary mentions he's not crazy about almonds. Hershey's with almonds is the owner's favorite candy bar, she says. So that's what you're getting. Third, a book of SMH green stamps. Suited blackjack gets you 20 stamps. Fill the book and turn it in for free play, a 6-pack of Mountain Dew, or a fillet of salmon, vacuum packed. Good in the freezer for 5 years, though we would not recommend eating it after 1. She points at the tier ladder on the wall. The top tier is unobtainium. Nobody has reached it. Nobody ever will. That's the whole point. Now the floor. High ceilings, natural light, actual windows, clean carpets, music at exactly the right volume, and enough room between the tables to do a little dance when you hit a hard 8 without tripping an elderly person. Gary fully intends to do that. The dance, not the tripping. The sports book opens right onto the floor. Every TV in the pit is showing an actual live game, and overhead, everywhere, are the signs. Big, beautiful, scrolling signs. A sign for everything. One announces that the poker room is open and that a $200 buy-in comes with a 6-ounce 7-Up poured airline style over a heaping cup of ice. One says the cocktail server will arrive at your table in approximately 2 minutes. Bet accordingly. One cycles every rule and limit in the house. And if you stare at it for 25 minutes, the hard 6 maximum will eventually come up at the exact moment you happen to be looking the other way. Gary heads for the craps pit, past the ATM that dispenses hundreds and makes coin change, past the free self-serve soda station, past the case of energy drinks wrapped in bars and chains. Nobody knows where the key is. Nobody is looking for it. And then he sees it. The flagship. The big table. The everything table. 20 players aside. 2 box persons, because 1 box person could not survive this table. Every bet known to gambling is on this felt. The fire bet. All small, all tall. The repeater. The field pays triple on both the 2 and 12. Free buys on the 4 and 10. Buys on the 5 and 9, where you pay to vig only after you win. Hard weighs at 9.5 to 1, like they pay in Australia. And down in the corner, some hand-drawn bet somebody sketched on paper decades ago and finally got to print. Cup holders at Chifwell. A digital counter above the table showing exactly how many times each number has rolled. Because for 40 years, somebody has always wanted to know what number has come up the most. And now, finally, somebody does. Gary pulls a paper ticket from the deli counter type dispenser, and a few minutes later, an elderly lady leans into the microphone. Craps, number 47, number 47. That's him. There's no minimum buy-in, none. Buy in for one $25 chip and leave if you want. So he buys in for whatever he feels like, and the dealer hands him something he hasn't seen since he was a kid. Metal dollar chips. And quarter chips. He places the 6 and 8 for $3 each. When the 8 hits, he gets paid $3.50 to the penny, and he almost cries. Above the table, the traffic light glows green. Bet now. It flips to yellow. Chips in hand, not down, hurry up. Red. And the announcement comes over the speaker, keep your hands off the table, dice are coming out. And up on the overhead marquee scroll the names of people who are not allowed to roll. Harry Balsman, the Cleveland Kid. Gary of Cleveland freezes. Then he remembers the names are made up. Mostly. Because the pit boss also has a button. And if you take long enough setting the dice, your real name goes up there, live. He's thirsty, so he does what you do here. He reaches up and hits the button. And the big red light over the table starts spinning and the siren goes off. And within seconds, a cocktail server appears. Behind her strolls a large, cheerful man in a bathrobe holding a clicker, clicking it contentedly, like Homer Simpson at the world's greatest yard sale. He doesn't work here, exactly. He's more of a mascot. We pay him anyway. The dice get to Gary. He sets them. He fires. And the stick man calls a leaning die. No debate, no committee, no pit boss summit. House rule, if it leans, it's a no roll. Everyone nods. Civilization. Then it happens. The dealer pays Gary's field bet with a 50-cent piece, and a bell rings out across the pit like a brass ring on the old carousel, because the bell only rings when somebody has just been handed the special coin. The whole table goes quiet. Gary looks down. And the man on the coin is not John F. Kennedy, it's Tony Gwynn. Gary has found the slug, and the slug means a mulligan. The next time he would have lost a bet of that same size, It's a push instead. He holds it up, and the table cheers like he's won the Masters. Around midnight, the carts come out. The big board lights up. Hot dog cart now on aisle 33. Sushi cart approaching the penny slots. Grilled cheese cart everywhere, always. Gary's neighbor at the slot bank gets a 30-second warning right on the screen and slams the hot dog button like she's playing max credit. A Cap'n Crunch milkshake arrives at a craps table for a man who simply raised one finger. Nearby, a smaller board updates the only prop bet on the property that never closes. Dr. Mike's blood sugar, over-under 250. Gary takes the under. He's feeling lucky. He's also, by 1 a.m., feeling stuck, down 400 even. And here's where most casinos hand you a parking validation and a shrug. Not here. The pit boss appears like a guardian angel. You're down 400. Steakhouse is calmed. Get the shrimp cocktail. It has 6 shrimp. It does. He counts. And while he eats, he plays Keno without ever leaving the booth. Because, of course, you can play Keno from the restaurant here. By the second game, the runner just glances at his ticket and says, "The usual?" On his way back to the tables, Gary makes the pilgrimage every guest makes, the restrooms. Listen, we know how this sounds, but people drive in from out of state for these restrooms. There's a waterfall urinal modeled on the Madonna Inn. There are self-cleaning stalls that blast 10 gallons of water the moment you leave. A man exits one, shaken and impressed, and says quietly, "It's a destination." It is. Past the restrooms, the chapel is wrapping up the 1:30 wedding. The officiant is Barney Fife. The hat, the whole getup, one bullet in his pocket. There is no other officiant. There never will be. And in the very center of the room, where another casino might put a fountain, there is a cage, a big one. The sign next to it explains that all disputes are settled inside and that the house is represented by our silent partner, Bruno. In the entire history of the property, nobody has ever gotten as far as the cage. Funny how disputes just sort of work themselves out. By 2 a.m., Gary's wheels are coming off, and a man at the bar overdoes it and gets sick right on the carpet. Security rushes over, and Gary winces, waiting for the fine. There is no vomiting fine. Vomiting means we make money. The man receives a $5 voucher and a buffet coupon, stamped, good for the next 30 minutes. He looks at it. He goes to the buffet. We don't make the rules. Well, we do, actually. Gary cashes out at dawn, up exactly $1,150, which the cage pays in metal dollars and one Tony Gwynn. At the door, the concierge hands him an envelope. Inside is a handwritten note addressed to Gary's wife, explaining, in warm and persuasive language, why Gary needs to come back next month, possibly for longer. It's signed by the management. Outside, the morning sun catches something gleaming on the far edge of the property. A wrecking ball, parked, waiting, wrapped in yellow, made entirely of Butterfinger, just in case, because we've always said this place lasts a year, tops. But Gary looks back at the marquee, at the sirens, at the signs, and he knows what every listener already knows. Rosenthal's casino would be empty. This one is packed. You could bet on that.
Outstanding. Oh my gosh. It truly is amazing. All the minutia that it got out of there and included in this story.
Yeah.
A lot that I'd forgotten about. I love the whole, 10-gallon spray the stall clean in the bathroom.
I was trying not to laugh real hard the whole way through. Oh. Well, that sounds like a casino I'd like to visit.
Yeah, I'd like to go and see that.
It's a destination.
Thank you, Alex, for the inspiration. Thank you, Mike, for actually putting it together.
I wish that's what AI was used for.
Yeah, see,
Exclusively.
AI gets dumped on, and for good reason in a lot of cases, but we're using it for good.
Yeah, Entertainment purposes only.
Yep. Since Mike actually put that together, we have added a couple more things to our casino. One of them was constant ice, right?
Yeah.
Where you always have ice.
Yeah.
And we trademarked that, constant ice. And then also in our check-in kiosks, you get to spin a wheel to see if you get like an upgrade or something or free play.
Yeah.
So that's something that...
Well, those are two things that every casino must have.
yeah. The spinning wheel is actually a legitimate one.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
Ice. For me, constant ice. I hate it when the ice runs out.
Oh, me too.
It's as soon as you really need a nice cold drink, and then, oh, God.
It never survives the night. Even if
Right.
you cover the ice bucket, by the
Yeah.
morning it's all melted. Even if you filled the whole thing up.
Right.
So, yeah, I guess that's something they could work on.
It's a dispenser thing.
Yeah.
As the ice melts, more ice is dumped into it.
Yeah.
And it's just constant.
Constant ice.
Yeah.
Anything to say about our casino, Dr. Mike?
Oh, I do have one thing to say.
Okay.
We do need a large sign that says all the signage and lights and everything may give you seizures. So
Oh, right. Like they put in front of some episodes of shows where there's like flashing
Yeah.
lights. Yeah, we
Right,
should have
just
a warning there.
a
Yeah.
warning sign for people. We're not cruel that way.
Yeah. It'd be a good warning, even if you're not predisposed to it. Right?
Yeah.
It's pretty intense.
I love the pardon our dust sign too.
Just this permanent sign. Can you move it out of the way? I don't see them working on anything anymore. No, it stays.
No, just in case we have dust, pardon.
Yeah, it's a catch-all.
That's a liability thing, okay?
Yeah. Covers us. All right. Well, Dr. Mike, we have a lot of topics that you and I actually were discussing before we started recording. I made some notes here. I'm just not ready to talk about them. We've got some new table games that are coming up. John Patrick recently died. We got a nice email from Ed O'Connor, and maybe we'll talk about him next time because I just didn't prepare anything. So stand by for all that stuff.
I mean, anyone who's listened to the show before knows that you're nothing if not thorough.
Yeah.
So, you won't present anything until you've researched it.
Right. I didn't want to go into
And-
details that were not, completely vetted.
Yes. And then you will, on occasion, miss something or leave something out. And then our show
Our fact checker.
evaluator, yeah, fact and just evaluating how the information should be presented.
Yeah.
He'll take care of the rest.
Yeah. Jim from New York. And if Jim doesn't catch it, Boring Jack will. And
Yeah,
we'll
right.
Come back with that. So. Look for that on the next episode. In the meantime, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. Let's get to some voicemails. First up is Jay.
Hi, guys. It's Jay from New Jersey. I have a real interesting crap story I wanted to get your take on. I was at Caesars in Atlantic City a few weeks ago playing the fire bet. The shooter made a point. The dealer put out the one puck, and the next point was established 7 out. But the dealer didn't remove the puck. So the next shooter came up, also made a point. Now the dealer closest to me put out the 2 puck and told the other dealer, who only had the 1 puck out, which was correct, hey, you messed up, put out the 2 puck. So now both dealers have the 2 puck. Next point was established, 7 out, that's that. And I'm telling you the story because someone told me, who I trust, I don't want to say what casino because it didn't happen to me directly, but basically was playing the fire bet in Atlantic City, 5 numbers, won $1,250, but was staying in the hotel where he was playing overnight. And then the next morning, they tracked him down and said, oh, sorry, there was a mistake. It was only 4 numbers, not 5. You owe us $1,125. So he said, show me the tape and I'll give you the $1,125. And the casino said, no, we're not showing you the tape. Of course, he said, I'm not giving you the $1,125. So the casino people are like, look, we're honest people. We run an honest casino. You owe us $1,125. And the guy I know said, no, I'm not giving you the $1,125. And then interesting, they said, okay, well then don't ever come back here. And he said, fine. And I'm thinking there's plenty of other casinos in Atlantic City. So I found that interesting because, I mean, they're going to win their $1,125 back. And this guy's obviously a regular customer. But was wondering what you guys would do. And obviously if it was like Black Hawk, a place with multiple casinos, not your local casino like Diamond Joe Worth or something like that, you might have a different answer. Love everything you do. Have a face-up pie gal story. I'll call it another time with you, and keep up the great work.
All right. Thanks, Jay. This is interesting. $1,125 is not nothing, although you could say it is virtually nothing to the casino. It certainly matters more to the player. And gosh, tracking him down, this was not a payout that required a W-2G. So the casino wouldn't have information on everyone who got paid unless they were using their player's card, which most people do. But, think about the anonymous player, who maybe this happened to. They can't track him down. I mean, I don't like this. I think the casino should eat this. I don't know what the ramifications are as far as gaming is concerned.
Yeah.
Do they have to make an effort to get the money back? I understand the player saying, well, show me the tape. And I understand the casino saying, no, we're not showing you the tape.
At that point, you know what I would have said?
What's that?
I would have said, well, I don't have the money anymore.
Yeah, really?
You can't get blood out of a turnip.
You should say, I gambled it at your casino and lost it.
Right.
Money that I wouldn't have gambled with had I not won the fire bet.
Right. I just don't have it anymore. You can't get it out of me if I don't have it.
Yeah.
Then we're at an impasse. Or the other thing would have been, Rochambeau for it.
Yeah, Rochambeau. I don't know that they do that a lot in casinos, again, since I haven't been in this situation. But I guess I'm kind of happy with the resolution. No, I'm not giving you the money. Okay, then don't come back to the casino. Fine. I guess it's a happy ending or a satisfying ending. I don't know.
Yeah, especially like if you're in a place where there are multiple casinos.
Right.
Yeah, just go down the street, then you'll lose all my business. Not all that smart on the casino's behalf.
Yeah.
I think them asking, is fine. Maybe you push it once and say, well, you really should pay us back. No, I'm not going to. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. And again, we don't know the legal ramifications one way or the other. So,
And if you're not going to show the video.
Yeah, and they'll never show you video, right? They just don't like giving that kind of stuff away. So, yeah.
Well, because you'll see other people's bets.
Right. And they don't want you to know exactly what they're looking at, how they're looking at it. Yeah, I understand that too.
I would have been okay with that resolution. Okay, fine. I just won't come here.
Yeah. All right, next call.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Steve DeStefani from Charlotte, North Carolina. We met several years ago planning Hollywood, playing craps. Also called in once or twice to get you guys to go to Harrah's Cherokee. Anyway, I wanted to reach out because it seems like your show recently turned into the Royal Flush Show, quote unquote. And after listening to the latest episode, I thought you and your viewers may enjoy hearing this story. My wife and I just returned from a 10-day Las Vegas trip with everything comped except our tips, gambling, and rental car, which is always a good start. We were able to watch the fireworks on the 4th of July from a great location sitting in Anthony's Prime Steakhouse at the M Resort, overlooking all the amazing fireworks displays from there to the Circa downtown. It was a special trip that started at the newly renovated Vanderpump Hotel, then a move to the M Resort Suite in the new tower, before wrapping up a 3-night stay with some gambling friends of ours from North Carolina in a 2-bedroom suite at Red Rock Resort, fully stocked bar and refrigerator, with a breathtaking view and complete with a butler at our service. I sent a link in the message. I think it would be a pretty nice trip in anybody's book. But what was even more special about this trip is after 40 years of gambling, and with an average of 4 visits a year to Las Vegas over the last 10 years, I have never hit a royal flush in Vegas or any casino for that matter. After starting out at blackjack and craps and table games player, I have mostly been a slot player over the last 10 years. I always play some carnival games and video poker on every trip. However, video poker has become more frequent occurrence since hearing increasingly more about video poker play from your show, Crap Vegas and Handy at the Shandy. But still, only about 10 or 15% of my play. That said, on this trip, I hit my very first royal flush, and then my second, and my third.
Come on.
And would you believe my fourth?
Come on.
I sent some pictures. All played on 25-cent, 10-hand Ultimate X and Ultimate X bonus streak. At Vanderpump, I held 4 to the Royal and won $3,012. And then a second at the Vanderpump, I held 4 to the Royal and won $2,007. Then at the M Resort, I held 3 to the Royal and won $3,012 again. And then at the Wynn, I held only 1 Jack of Hearts to the Royal and won $4,010.
Oh, my
Crazy.
God.
Anyway, we had a great trip, getting 6 other hand pays on slots over the course of 10 days in Vegas. Yet, of course, we still posted a small loss for the trip. That said, after all these years of listening to your discussion about craps and video poker and not getting a royal flush, your latest shows sounded like it was entirely about royal flushes, so I had to chime in with my story to share this unbelievable run of luck with you and your fans. Thanks for everything you do. We love your show and look forward to it every week. It's your turn. All the best.
All right. Thanks, Steve. I'm still seeking it. I know you don't play much video poker, but every time I head out to play poker, regular poker, I get there early and I go to a video poker machine just to play some hands, hopefully to hit it. So I'm still trying.
It's never happening.
No, I know. Is there anything we should incorporate in our casino to emphasize the fact that we've never hit a royal flush? Like, should our video poker machines, have this big amount for royal flush, like twice as much, like 8,000 credits, but then a sign in the corner, these machines have been programmed to never deal or draw to a royal flush?
Yeah.
Just a little thing in the corner.
Or they're just regular machines that pay, but when they pay, there's this thing that comes up, this whole video of us lamenting the fact that we've never hit one.
Berating the player.
Berating the player and everything. It takes like 5 minutes, and you can't bypass it.
Right, you have to sit through it. Right, the runner won't come until you've sat through
Right, the runner won't come. You can't cash out. There's nothing you can do. You have to sit there. If you get up out of your seat, the machine automatically knows and pauses until you're back in your seat.
Yeah, and you get paid in nickels, regardless of the total.
In nickels. This is a lot of rolls of nickels, sir. Do you have a bucket?
Because we will not provide you a bucket.
And we're certainly not letting you take our little paper roll things. I mean, we bring it out in that, but then we have to dump it into
You've got
bucket.
to empty them into something. Yeah, it's going to be the one annoying thing at our casino.
Right.
One.
I really like that casino, but man, I hated getting a royal flush.
Yeah, don't play video poker there.
The pay tables are great,
Yeah,
but the payment,
best I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's the payment that sucks. Airlines are starting to put on an extra fee. Yeah, if you were at the Mark and Mike's casino and you're bringing aboard 800 pounds of nickels, there will be a subsequent fuelage charge.
Okay, let's hear from Brett.
Hello, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Brett from Tennessee. Been a long-time listener of your podcast. Absolutely love it. I've got a trip report that may or may not make the show based on the fact that it's not a recent trip report, but I think it's a couple things that people could learn from as I reminisce about my first trip to Vegas in 1990. Me and a buddy flew out there for 2.5 days, stayed at the dunes. My entire bankroll was $1,000 for the 2.5 days. Felt like I was walking on air as I was walking down the carpeted hallways. I get downstairs. 4 hours later, I have nothing. I lost it all. I had learned the game from a local bookmaker back in Tennessee, and all I really was playing was the pass line only. And as I went back up to the hotel room, And I sat there with my friend depressed. I called a buddy back home, and he wired me $500, Western Union. Remember Western Union? So the next day, I slept on it. The next day, I go down to Caesar's Palace. The atmosphere there was electric. All the different people around the table, which I think is the thing I love the most about craps. Guy from New York with a strong New York accent, because it was 1990 and the Soviet Union and the Berlin Wall had just fallen the previous year. He said he was going to bet on the Red Sox because every time the communists crap out, the Red Sox win the World Series. Everybody's laughing. Standing next to a guy, $5 on the pass line. This Asian guy walks up. He's got an entourage with him. He's obviously got a marker. He talks to the box. He gets like chips we'd never seen before. He covers all the numbers. He's got these multicolored chips out there. Guy next to me, it's his turn to roll. He's scared to roll. I said, look, buddy, your $5 means just as much to you as all that money for that guy. Instantly developed a friend, had some fun there, went down the street to Flamingo. I noticed in the top left corner of the table, the don't pass. I also noticed that they were getting 3 points thrown and then crapping out. So I used a new strategy. I changed and went to the don't pass. Eventually, I won all my money back and came home with about $3,000. The moral of the story is, number one, bankroll management. First time especially. Number two, have fun. Take care of your friends. Thank you, guys.
I love that report. I love the old school experience. And, oh, yeah, that's great.
That's a great report. He just left off number 3.
Oh, what's that?
Never give up.
Yeah, there's always an ATM.
Yeah, or a friend who can wire you some money. I love that. He wasn't complacent and said, hey, I lost my money. I'll sit here in the room or find a nice corner and crouch in it and cry all day. No, someone wire him a loan. That's the way to go, my friend.
That is great. We didn't spend too much time at the dunes, but we've got some fond memories. We got a hotel room there once when they said the Queen of England couldn't get a room, right?
Yeah,
and we got a room.
And the buffet.
Yeah, had that bad buffet upstairs in their conference room. It was the first place I ever got tipped by a player. Some player tipped me $25, and oh man, that was fantastic. And I do remember going there, playing $5 blackjack. Again, college kid, not a lot of money. I bought in for $50, $5 blackjack. I lost 10 hands in a row. I vividly remember that from the dunes.
Yeah. My memory's worse. The time at Silver City when I won 18 hands in a row at $1 a hand. Never raised it. Had no money.
Silver City. I remember playing 25-cent craps there. Yeah, long gone.
Yeah,
it's a little strip mall now. All right, next call.
Hello, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is YoEric65 on X, calling to inquire as the podcasting community has expanded around you guys and the friendship that you have developed with some of the personalities on these podcasts. Have they had any influence on the way that you approach the casino every time that you go in? Meaning, has there been any change to the games that you prefer? Has there been any change to games that you like to play and the way that you play them? Just any influence of meeting and becoming friends with some of the other personalities in podcasting, these relationships that you've developed, has that influenced your gaming habits at all in general? Really love the show and everything that you guys do and wish you both the best. Yo.
All right, great question. Thanks.
Well, I can say yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, when...
Because you play more bar video poker now than you used to.
Yeah. If it's just you and I going to a casino, we're not meeting anybody else, I don't think anything's changed. We usually go straight to the craps table and play. But yeah, if we're getting together with other people, and this comes down to the community and people that I've met, yeah, I'll sit and play a lot of video poker with the Handy at the Shandy guys or the Crap Vegas guys.
Or Baccarat.
Right. If Tim is there, I'll play Baccarat. I would never have played Baccarat before. And I still won't, again, like by myself. So it's changed my habits probably more than yours, Dr. Mike.
Yeah, I mean, if we're at a say, a meetup of people and, we go along with the crowd, that does change us a little bit. But
Yeah, that's how it's changed when we meet people. Again, repeating myself, if it's just you and I, Dr. Mike, it hasn't really changed our habits much. But yeah, getting together, and anytime we go to Vegas, we're going to meet up with either listeners or other podcasters. I mean,
Right.
we've gotten to that point where, we're always going to meet up with somebody, and we'll probably cater our casino experience to align with whoever we're meeting.
right, exactly. And for me, the biggest influence on me has been Jim from New York. I am not gambling unless it's with Jim.
Gosh, no kidding. We've gotten wiped out so badly on our last sessions, and Jim recently sent us some pictures of him in Vegas where people were rolling those extreme numbers on a crapless table like crazy.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And he was cleaning up.
Yeah.
It just seems like we have good luck with Jim.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I know that'll dissipate at some point, but so far.
Yeah. All right, last call.
Hey guys, it's Ryan from Las Vegas. It's been a while since I called in. Haven't had too many crazy stories, but I did have one pretty good crap story that I wanted to share with you guys. I was at Palace Station during the hockey playoffs. I was having a great roll. I rolled for a little bit over an hour, which is actually a great roll. I hit the boomer bust, hit all of them. They wiped it. I hit them again. That was great. There was tons of money being pulled off the table. The stacks of chips they were paying out, there was dust underneath them. The box kept talking about how they haven't given out these chips in so long because there's dust underneath the chips, and it was fun. The table was great. Well, early on in the roll, I was stick right two. I was shooting to the other side of the table. I'm a righty, so it was more of an underhand toss. Early on in the roll, I let go of the dice, and the way the stick was standing, he had the hook of the stick kind of on his shoulder and his hand at the bottom of the stick, so his hand was kind of out in the center of the table. Well, I rolled, and it clipped his hand, and the dice fell, and it was a hard 6, and the dealer said, no roll, sorry. It hit our dealer, no roll. So, okay, she called no roll. It was a little upsetting, but whatever, we kept it going. Well, we didn't think anything of it. That was so early on in the roll. Well, once I got past the hour mark, I rolled again, and it clipped the dealer. The stick had already went on break. He came back. It was the same guy. I clipped the dealer. It fell down 6-1, 7 out. We were all waiting for them to say no roll because earlier they called it a no roll, but this one they called 7 out. Well, the place was in an uproar. They called upstairs before they cleared all the chips. The chip said no, roll's over. So the roll was over. Everybody cashed out. I wasn't mad. I made a lot of money. I got tips from everyone else. But later on, they did find me, and they gave me some food and beverage credit and a little bit of free play. Nothing crazy, but it was nice of them to do that. They didn't have to do that. But, yeah, it was kind of a bummer to the end of the roll. Sorry. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, this is infuriating because it's the casino playing a free roll.
Yeah, they
Right?
got a
It's
free
like,
roll.
oh, if it's 7, we'll say good roll. If it's not 7, we'll say no roll. Here's the thing. Okay, it hit the dealer's hand. Well, hey, dice hit dealers' hands all the time. And not all the time,
Right.
but it happens, right? And that's
Right.
a roll. As long as they didn't do anything, like push just like a player, that's a roll. So that
Right.
first roll should have been called a hard 6. And then, yes, the 7 out should have been the 7 out.
Think about this. If I'm rolling and the guy at the other end of the table puts his hand out to do something,
Yeah.
which he's not supposed to do, but he puts his hand out, the dice hit his hand, they don't say no roll.
Yeah, that's a roll.
That's a roll. So why would it be any different for the dealer if his hand is out in the field of play?
It shouldn't. And so, yeah, that hard 6 should have been a hard 6. And unfortunately, yes, the 7 out should have been a 7 out.
7 out.
Now,
right.
it's the inconsistency that's infuriating. Now,
Right.
it's futile to call up to the eye in the sky on that 7 out because they don't have the context. They're not going to go, rewind an hour to find, the roll where it was a hard 6. They're just looking at what happened for the 7. And yeah, it was a 7 out. So,
Right.
that's all they're going to say.
That was a mistake on whoever the boxman was,
Yeah.
or the pit boss, or if there's no pit boss or something, maybe the stick man. That was a mistake on their part to say no roll on
Yeah.
the hard six.
So it is nice that they tracked Ryan down and gave him some stuff. Ryan, if it's any consolation, the only thing that you really missed out on was the hard six. The 7 out is legitimate, so maybe it's you ended up close to what you could have.
Yeah,
ended up
and
with.
Also he said that was early in the roll.
Right,
So
right.
if he rolled all that time afterwards, at least it wasn't like that's no roll and then the next roll's a 7 out.
Yeah. But I don't like it.
We don't like inconsistency.
Right, that's the big part of it. Yeah. All right, Dr. Mike. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I promise everyone that I will be prepared for lengthy discussions about some of these other topics next time. I shouldn't say lengthy. I should say thoughtful.
Thoughtful. Yeah. Yeah. Be on alert, Jim and Jack.
Yeah. I'm going to be very careful about my wording every step of the way. If it's 9 for 1 and not 921, I've got to say 9 for 1. I can't tell you how many times I've caught little mistakes like that, been infuriated as I'm editing, and actually re-recorded the line so that it's correct. Because I don't.
As much as you want to be like Data from Star Trek, you're human. It's going to happen.
I'll give a challenge to people. On the last episode, there was like one sentence that I had to re-record because I got it wrong. If anybody can guess what that sentence is, I don't know. I'll call them out on the air and say congratulations. You're not going to find it, so don't even bother.
Oh boy, you just set quite a few people on a wild goose chase to find the answer to that, Mark.
All right, well, we want to thank some people for some recurring donations. From Brian Dancer, from the International Brotherhood of Gobbling Donkeys, from Tim S., from James M., and from Jeremy at the Color Up YouTube channel. Thank you very much for those recurring donations. We also got a donation from listener Pat G. Please split 50-50 with Dr. Mike's school fund. Karma donation for my AC trip in my new Tip Your Dealers shirt from the Better Life store. Pat G. from Jersey. Thank you very much, Pat.
Thank you, Pat. And by the way, school will be starting here in a few weeks again. And I'm glad to announce that we have some funds there for possible winter clothing and
fantastic.
stuff that may be necessary for a few of the less fortunate parents out there.
Great. Yeah, great cause. Thank you, Dr. Mike. Hey, you can buy merchandise for You Can Bet on That, and for The Better Life, and for Handy at the Shandy at bettermerch.com. That's BETTOR merch.com. You'll find a link for that at the top of our webpage. Also on our webpage, you'll find a list of all the gambling-related shows coming up on American television in the next 2 weeks at youcanbetonthat.com/TV-listings. If you're looking for a movie to watch, check out our list of gambling-related movies at youcanbetonthat.com/movies. If you want to listen to songs with gambling-related lyrics, check out our You Can Bet on That Spotify playlist. Just click the link towards the top of our webpage. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter at You Can Bet on That and on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. What do you got, Dr. Mike?
Well, Mark, it occurs to me to make this announcement that if you're listening to the show and you want to call in, don't hesitate.
Yeah.
Call in. Mark can fix anything as far as like speech.
Yeah, long pauses, stumbling.
Mark will just fix that. You'll sound great. That. And number two, don't ever think that a story is not interesting. I, for one, am very interested in all the stories.
Yeah, the stories are great.
I mean, people say, oh, it might be a little boring. No, to us, it's not. And I love hearing it, especially like today. We had that, story from 1990. That's great.
Yeah.
It just brought back a lot of memories for me about things and being in the dunes and stuff and things like that. So I want to throw that out there because we hear so often people say, I love listening, but I've never really called in. I'm a little hesitant and stuff. Don't be hesitant. We're not that kind of show.
Yeah, and sometimes you hear, I hate the sound of my voice. Well, other people don't hate the sound of your voice.
No.
That's just natural. That's
all-
weird.
You were all too hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
We're all our worst critic. You have to be like super, super confident person to not be. And most of us aren't that.
Yeah.
But in reality, like you said, nobody else cares about what your voice sounds like.
Yeah.
It's your voice. It's just us. I learned that lesson long ago about like the way I dress or something. I'm like, no, I'm just going to dress the way I want. I don't care. I had somebody tell me once, well, you need to dress different. So, this is when we were single, Mark, and we could get girls if you dress different. So, like, well, I don't really feel comfortable in that.
So I'm just going to wear my Incredible Hulk t-shirt and go to the casino and play Pai-Gow poker.
Right. And you can think what you want. I don't care. And look where it got me. A wonderful wife.
You're in good shape.
So I just wanted to bring that up. And for those of you interested in baseball, the last couple months are starting today.
Yeah.
So root for your teams.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, everybody. We will talk again in 2 weeks.
Good night.
You think getting up twice a night to pee you think that's excessive?
Are you here to play cards or get an exam?
Oh, I get it. You want me to come to the office so you can charge me for a visit. Smart, very shrewd.
He's actually just a dentist.
Oh.